AUS Silver Jubilee Podcast, presented by the MCM Department and the College of Arts and Sciences. Silver Jubilee Podcast.
Hello and welcome. Today I am chatting with Dr. Yaqoub Al-Ahmed, the first UAE national to get his Ph.D. from the American University of Sharjah. Dr. Al-Ahmed also received his bachelor's in computer engineering and master's in engineering systems management from AUS. He is now working as a senior manager in Emirates Nuclear Energy. Doctor, let me begin by asking you, what made you choose AUS and continue with it for your degree?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for bringing me back to AUS, where I had very long memories. AUS is a very well-known university, and not only in UAE but also in the region. And it was always my first choice to continue my master and PhD programs for four reasons: because it's a well-reputed university, and also because it's very close to my hometown, because I'm originally from Sharjah.
What batch were you part of? What year did you join AUS?
I joined in 2002. I graduated in 2005, December 2005. I started with the first semester. I joined the intensive English program, and it was the very first start for me in this university, in this campus.
And how was it like getting accepted into AUS? Was it a difficult process for you?
I met the criteria to be part of the accepted students in this university, but to make the choice, which if I were gonna continue, it took for me a while to make my decision. Once I was there in this university, I had some challenges where I need to enhance my ability and my knowledge in the English language, as it was not my first language. So I felt there is a shock for me, as I was not expected that the faculty and the students here are, let's say, very competent in English language. So for me, it was a shock.
Did you feel like AUS eventually helped you get on the same level?
Honestly speaking, yes, because English is mandatory. So if you need to communicate with faculty, if you need to communicate with other multinational students, so you are forced to learn the language. So they really pushed me towards improving my ability in English language.
Could you tell us a little more about your first day of classes?
I remember, for me it was, as I mentioned, English was a challenge for me. I remember first day of classes, so the instructors, they are very fluent in English language. And for me, I said, wow, this is really needs hard work. I will not be able to understand. If I don't understand, I'll not be able to complete my acquired activities and tasks. So I had a shock. For me, the language really was shock. By time, first semester, second semester, I was more into being part of this community.
How did you feel being part of the AUS community?
During those times, if you compare the number of students in the universities and number of students recently, there's a significant difference. So we used to know almost majority of the people enrolled, for example, talking about engineering school, College of Engineering. So we used to know almost everyone. So we used to have agree on our classes, schedules. So we had to go out in the student center. We had breakfast together. We had even lunch break together. So
it was a tight-knit community.
Yeah.
Now it's much bigger.
It's much, much bigger.
Seeing as AUS back then is not exactly the same as AUS now, tell us, how was a typical day in the life of an AUS student back then?
I cannot give you a very straight answer for that, because I had other commitments. So I was full-time student and full-time employee even. So for me, I tried to adapt to balance between my time in the university and the requirements for being an employee. So for me, I cannot compare my schedule to other students at that time.
How were you able to balance that?
To be very honest, I was trying to keep my classes in the morning. I tried to keep my working shifts different on those days where I have labs, because labs ends at 5 p.m. So it was a challenge for me. And did it have an impact on my performance in the university? Yes, it did. I didn't have much time to study well for exams, but I somehow managed it.
What was your job back then anyway, as a student?
I started working in mid-2002, and I worked in Sharjah TV engineering department, and my title was MCR technician. MCR stands for Master Control Room Technician. My responsibilities was to fulfill the requirements for the TV programs in terms of studio preparation, checking the quality of the signals, ensuring that the live signals is always up to the high quality and there is no disruption in signals. And in case of any technical issues, then we need to report back to the on-call engineers.
Was that the only career path that you had during university, or did you work somewhere else as well?
No, that's my only career path. I worked there as MCR technician until my graduation in December 2005, and where I moved to be a computer engineer, work in the IT department as a computer engineer. At that time, there was no IT department, Sharjah TV, and we were in the process of developing the IT department. So I worked for there maybe for 10 months. Then I found another working opportunities to seek for more knowledge and more experience. I moved to Sharjah Electricity and Water Authority. It was in 2007.
What role did AUS play in your career, seeing as you moved from different places once you graduated?
Of course, to get well-known and well-established career path, you need to develop your skills and your knowledge. So I got those development and those self-development, if I can say it, by the support of program I got here at American University of Sharjah. I use my degree as a proof for my qualification to able to move forward in my career path.
Now, I know you just graduated with your Ph.D. What was the subject of your Ph.D. and who was your advisor?
When I joined the PhD program, one of the requirements to be accepted is to have an advisor. So, like, say thank you for Dr. Ziad for accepting me as his advisee. So he was my advisor. And at that time, we had an idea about our research topic. So we had a discussion. After 2 years, we agreed on the topic of my research, in which we have a discussion with Dr. Anuha to be my co-advisor. And the title of my research was optimization of smart composite panels for enhanced ballistic performance.
Did you feel like AUS gave you a platform for you to voice out your voice and research into the world?
Yeah, because once you are in the PhD, you should contribute to the knowledge, to have some new ideas, to add to the knowledge. It's one of the requirements for your PhD dissertation, and publication is for sure required. If you want me to say, did we add to the knowledge? Yes, we did add to the knowledge.
When did you graduate with your PhD?
In June 2022.
Well, how does it feel like when you come to university after finishing your academic journey at AUS?
I was here in the alumni reunion. Once I entered the campus, I start remembering the first day I joined the PhD program. It was 2018. It was proud to be part of AUS and to have my full journey in AUS.
Seeing as you've completed your degrees at AUS, tell us something interesting about being part of the early batches of AUS students.
I remember many stories. A very, very simple example, as being students from the first batch here, the US, they have the policy of keeping your ID number. If you enrolled in future programs, you'll still have using your same ID. So because I was in first batches, I had 4 digits ID number. So I believe recent students, they have maybe 5 digits ID numbers.
You had 4?
I have 4, yeah. I remember sometimes when I go to the registrar office asking for enrollment letter or for other documentation, and they need me to fill the form, I put my 4-digit number ID and they say, yeah, but you missed the number. I say, no, I didn't.
They must be surprised.
Yeah. They say, are you sure? I say, yeah, are you sure? Then some of them ask me, okay, how many zeros do you have before your ID number? I say, I have 4, not 3.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's different because students now have only 3.
Yeah.
To end with, what is something invaluable that AUS has given you?
Knowledge, experience, the way we see life. An example could be for the internship. This internship is really something beneficial for students because once you are in the university, you see, for example, math. You take math classes, physics classes, and other classes. You think the world is industrial world is same, but once you go with the internship programs and you are there in the field, so you know it's not the same. It's different world. You need to do such and such, but you use those are the classes that we are and the knowledge that we are gaining here and building up here in AUS. It's the base for our activities in the industrial world.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. Yaqoub. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me as well.
AUS Silver Jubilee Podcast, presented by the MCM Department and the College of Arts and Sciences. Silver Jubilee Podcast.